Well, it almost worked. Welcome everybody to Give It Podcast, a podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. We are your hosts of the most, myself, Black Spartans, Far Out TV, Show Guy Joe. Fellas, we have made it to the weekend as usual. How we feeling?
It should not be icing in February. That is all.
Yeah, we all blame that groundhog at this moment. Joe, what about you?
I had boxes.
Oh yeah, you're getting settled in the new dig, sir. Well, that's always a fun time. But as you can see, guys, we are a little bit on the more leveled up side, so we do try to watch our language, but sometimes words do fly. At the same time, guys, we may show trailers of video games or movies that just might be a little too much intense for younger viewers, so viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. So how do we start this? Well, as you can tell, guys, we did take Valentine's Day off for reasons, but we are back for this Friday, as well as information and news that we did miss. But because it was Valentine's Day and because it was around the time of the Super Bowl, we did actually get a new Thunderbolts trailer. With that being said, if you haven't seen it already, here it is.
Let's talk facts. The Avengers are not coming. Who will keep the American people safe?
There's some big threat out there, and you are gonna help me stop it.
Wait, us?
Yeah, you. Why, you got someplace to be?
I love that guy.
So none of us comply? So what, do we all just punch and shoot?
I can't think of a worse group of people trying to work together.
Everyone here has done bad things. You can't escape the past. Hey, it's like your mind is somewhere else.
So you can do something about it now, or live with it forever.
This could get messy.
No shit. You thought you were gonna be some great saviors? You can't even save yourself.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
Okay, that was really good.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you. This has makings of team that can rise to glory. Bring light from the darkness. This team can be the heroes on the Wheaties box with a little giddy toy.
Alexei, have you slept?
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I'd like not to die today, so maybe somebody else can drive.
Now, that was the trailer for Thunderbolts. This was, again, around the time of the Super Bowl, so we're just now getting back to that. Like we said, we were gone for a week or so. I'm just going to throw this to everybody, because I know, Joe, you are my expert on the Thunderbolts. I'm going to start with you first with this trailer. What did you think of it? You muted, Joe.
I mean, we immediately see the Sentry just flat out kill a dude and turn him into like ash on a shadow on the road. So we're greatly outnumbered, which is normal. I got a feeling we're gonna get at least one of the actual comic book Thunderbolts, though. Like, we've got to get somebody, because they even point out all they all do is shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So we may at least get Songbird, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa Gold, who's been a long time Thunderbolt member, and there's not a lot of Taskmaster in this thing, so either she's going to be really, really important, or she's going to be the catalyst that like holds the team together, kind of like Coulson was.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna. I went the other way. I thought she was gonna be wiped. I thought this is the way they were going. It's almost reminiscent of Suicide Squad. So that's just
you get a lot. I've seen a lot of comparisons to that. I mean, the most current version of the Thunderbolts, that's a more apt comparison, except they don't have bombs in the neck. They're actively choosing to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the current book right now is they're trying to go against Doom because Doom's taking over the world.
Yeah.
And Bucky is no longer the Winter Soldier. I believe he now goes by the Revolution.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But Safari, what about you, sir?
I just want to know how the Winter Soldier managed to run for Congress and win.
Joe?
Huh?
I thought you knew that one because I don't.
I mean, he's legally viable. He will be the technically oldest member in Congress, and if you reach over 60, it's an automatic conclusion.
Yeah, well,
look at our Congress.
Is that why Mitch McConnell's been hanging on for so long?
Mitch McConnell.
No, it's his membership to the Turtle Club. That's what keeps him in there.
That's the only thing that keeps that man alive, but I'm going to leave that alone. But no, come May 2nd, it's going to be interesting to watch that. I still say that, I'm just going to say really quickly, I think Baron Zemo is going to rear his head just because of what also, I'm trying not to spoil Captain America, but let's be honest, if you watch cutscenes and everything else on the YouTube, on almost all social media right now, they're all talking about the one cutscene at the end of Brave New World. But again, I digress. But keep it Marvel for a second. We know that Daredevil Born Again is definitely going to be hitting very soon because that is going to be coming out in March. However, it has been reported that Marvel is looking to bring back the Netflix Defenders. Now, let me stress this very heavily. There has been nothing set in stone about this. This is only Marvel saying that they're pulling out feelers to see if they can reunite the Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist. However, I will point this out that, of course, Luke Cage character Mike Coulter and Jessica Jones, Kristen Ritter have been seen. Of course, Charlie Cox is everywhere, and Mr. Finn himself, who plays Danny Rand. All of their social medias have gone irrecoverably silent since last year. Now, I'm not trying to play rumor guy or conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying that, and I'm just going to throw this to you guys. Is there some fuel to this fire? And if so, is this a right move to bring the Defenders into the current MCU level?
They need to be rebranded as Marvel Knights.
Fair.
I feel like it'll back a lot.
That also is a good point. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the shows outside of I didn't like the way how Luke Cage season 2 ended. I did not like how the whole Iron Fist storyline. I mean, how the whole showrunner was running Iron Fist. Now, Jessica Jones was great because you got to see Hellcat. You actually got to see the beginnings of Nuke in a way. And of course, with Daredevil, well, let's be honest, Daredevil was the first thing they brought back and gave it the longest episodic run on Disney Plus so far. That being said, I do think it would make sense. We are doubling. Let's see. Are we still doubling? Say what?
Your screen's open.
Let's see something here. You got your echo cancellations on both sides?
I think my hands are microphone.
Joe, what about you?
Yeah. So every time you leave your window open.
Oh, right. We got that problem. Try it now.
You're good.
Yeah,
Nope.
I forgot we got that problem.
There we go.
Yeah, I forgot we got that problem. So technical differences we still got to sort out. I bet. But yeah, going back to that though, it's just the whole thing of I do think it's a good idea. Like Tafari said, I think that it should have been done sooner. At least outside of Daredevil, you could have brought back Jessica Jones. You could have softly brought back Luke Cage, and went a different route. Iron Fist, I don't know. Iron Fist need a whole retweaking as far as I'm concerned, because I'm so tired of him going around and letting people know he's the immortal Iron Fist with the worst display of martial arts proficiency this side of a drive-through karate studio. I mean, Cobra Kai had better fight choreography than they did. And I'm just saying, it's Cobra Kai. I mean, it's karate. It's not that freaking hard to choreography. But that being said, though, if there is truth to this, then great. Does this mean that, and like I said, and on Joe's point, if they do go to Marvel Knights, that would be the perfect moniker, because Marvel Knights is darker storytelling. You don't got to worry about the Blue Sky brand with Disney. At the same time, does this open up other avenues for Defenders? Because there are other groups of Defenders, but does this open it up for other heroes to also be labeled as street level Defenders as well?
Possibly, because didn't we give isn't Danny doing the Iron Glocks now?
Well,
Danny's dead.
Yeah, Waylon. That's the thing about it. That's also one thing that's taking me off, because Waylon, help me out here, Joe. What was his last name? One of the Iron Fists that had the guns. Waylon Jennings, or I can't think of his last name.
Waylon Jennings is a singer, I think.
I'm trying to get his name together. But
they just need to pivot into the new Asian Iron Fist. That's all they got to do.
Well, yeah, with the divine weapons, I could see that.
More people know the new Asian Iron Fist now too, because of Marvel Rivals.
Yep, Orson Randall. There we go. I couldn't think of his name to save my life. So Tafari, Orson Randall's was an Iron Fist that actually used weapons. So he didn't actually use his fist, but he powered it through weapons. So it's guns, shotguns.
Yeah, that was my thing. At the end of Iron Fist, didn't he give the girl the Iron Fist and he swapped out for like the guns? Danny's like dual wielding.
See, I had to go back and watch it. I'm not sure if that was it, because Colleen is still, strategic in her own right, but I don't know if she actually did get it. I think he used it to save her, but I can't say beyond a shadow of a doubt if she actually did receive the dragon. But either way, it's one of those things to where if you're going to bring back Iron Fist, I mean, you can bring back Jessica Jones as it is, no problem. You can bring back Luke Cage with some slight tweaks, again, no problem. You can bring back Jessica Jones. Again, no problem. Iron Fist, problem, because
they need to fix it with an established character. They've already used. Swap out Iron Fist for Echo.
That could work. Although Echo, they kind of did give her a send off, but we are going to see her come back at some point. But yeah, if they do actually decide to do this, I am not complaining. I just want them to do it. And, it deserves to be done properly, is what I'm getting at, if that makes sense. Like, if you're going to do something on that magnitude outside of already giving us Daredevil, then okay, that's fine. You can do that. Not knocking it. But again, we'll see. But we're going to stick to Marvel again, just because Marvel Rivals. If you like it, you played it. I know I've played it. Joe's played it. Tafari, have you played it?
I play casually. I'm not doing ranked with all the tryhards. I refuse.
Understood. I think all of us that played it, do enjoy it. But unfortunately, there has been some news that really does need to be cleared up, just because of how it first came out. What I'm talking about, guys, is the layoffs. Marvel did actually have layoffs, even though with the success of the game. It's just that the layoffs that occurred, and this is the thing that we need to point out with these layoffs. With everything that's going on, it is a little difficult to think that whenever you hear layoffs, you think mass and numbers layoffs. We talked about last year where Microsoft and Activision and Ubisoft and all those guys laid off like anywhere from 1,000 to almost 5,000 people lost their jobs. This being said, however, the ones that actually left Marvel Rivals, they weren't critical jobs. These were along the lines of development and leadership jobs, which means that those that actually did create and actually run and keep the game supported, they're still employed. It's just the fact that because the game no longer needs certain leadership at the helm, those jobs are the ones that are lost. So it's not the fact that a lot of people have lost their jobs. It's just those in the higher levels of management. Those are the ones that were let go. But again, I mean, and don't get me wrong. The first time I know we saw it, we were like, "Dang, the game was successful. So why the layoffs?" In this world, guys, it's just that it just goes to show you that the economy is not immune to anybody, especially if you're in a high enough spot to where your job can be reduced. The game itself is still great. Not knocking it. Still refuse to buy a battle pass because why? But anything else, guys, we want to add to that?
So I saw they revealed a character design for Blade that I'm actually kind of interested in.
Yep, someone leaked it. Someone did leak a future Blade a Blade project. I guess it's gonna be it, and it looks great. I didn't want to show it because I didn't want to be like someone come after us because we've seen what happens when GTA 6 gets leaked and folks disappear. I definitely don't want Marvel coming after us because the mouse has got way too many options. But anyway, that also being said, to switch gears to gaming, because like we said, we do have quite the amount of trailers for games this week because of the Sony State of Play and everything else. But Fatal Fury, Call of the Wolves. Joe has played it on. Say what?
City of the Wolves.
Thank you. City of the Wolves. Thank you. Tongue tied at the moment. Apologize.
Just call it Garo 2.
Yeah, let's go with that. So Garo 2. Let's go with that. But for everybody else, City of the Wolves. If you've been under the rock, the beta is out. Beta is available up until Sunday, if I got that right. Because it says it's supposed to be from the 20th to the 24th. So actually, that's Monday. I apologize. So before we give our impressions of it, if you haven't already, the beta is available for PlayStation and Xbox and PC. So again, it's free. You do not need Game Pass to download it. You do not need PlayStation Plus to download it. Keep in mind, this is a beta. Anybody that's ever played a beta version, this is not the full game. This is not the full product of the game. This is a game in progress. You do have to do a couple of tutorials, like every fighting game does, before they let you loose. You do have the ability to play online for either ranked or casual. And practice is right now limited tutorial. So again, a lot of people, because I went on there and I breezed the tutorial and I tried to go to casual and I got mollywopped for about a good 8 matches. So I didn't get my first win until sometime today, but I enjoyed it. But yeah, again, I sat there and told Joe this, and I told Tafari this in our Gitbit discussion group. Street Fighter 6 may have some worries because so far the drive system seems to be working for Fatal Fury. You get 8 characters to play with. Each of them, I play with each of them. No issues there. The only thing I would nitpick about in the beta that I wish you got the ability to practice, at least to where you have your own practice ring. But again, that's nitpicking. The fact that you get to play a game for free, you get to play it online against others. I can't knock it. Couldn't find any problems with finding a match. Couldn't find any problems while playing a match. So far, the build seems to be great. But Joe, Tafari, have you played it? If y'all guys played it, what y'all guys think of it?
I haven't played this. I got the invite code for the Sonic Crossworlds test, so I've been on that all day.
Oh, I gotta ask you about that. I gotta ask you about that once we get to the trailer. But Joe?
Matchmaking is a little weird and ranked right now, but that's about it. I've been sticking with either Terry or Mai until the Capon twins are available to be picked because I usually ran with them. So we'll see what that's like. Mai is terrifying in this game. So much more than in Street Fighter. The new Dodge Crush is...
something else, ain't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's trust me, I'm learning because I was on the end of it, and I also got saved by it at the same time. So trust me.
Time to learn your 50/50s.
Yeah, definitely understand that. But for all those that are watching, you guys let us know in the comments what you guys think of the beta. Again, you have the ability right now to download it. It is free to play with. Again, it's a beta. Don't expect a full product, but so far we all think it's great. But the reason why we brought this up, because not only did the beta get released, we also got a trailer for the new characters that will be coming in Season 1.
Try to keep up, all right?
Come on!
Taste of Shiranui fire is the path I've chosen. Time to step sail. Listening for my research.
Farewell.
Can you comprehend that? Hey, come on! Get lost! Ready? Buster Ball! Close one! Okay!
Higashi. Chun-Li. Mr. Big.
Okay, guys, and that was the Season 1 pass. I apologize that I can't get none of this stuff off. Let's see if I can go back a frame. Nope. That's definitely not happening. So for all those that can't see it, I apologize. You do get in this upcoming summer, you do get Andy Bogard. Also, you get Street Fighter Ken. In the fall, you get Joe Higashi, and then followed up by Chun-Li and then Mr. Big. So that is the first group of fighters you get with the first season pass. Fellas, how are we feeling about that? Are we happy? Are we disappointed? Or should they have added more fighters?
No, we're good. 22 is a decent start. Please also, guys, keep in mind that by simply buying the $59.99 version of the game, you get Season 1 included in that price. So you get Season 1 DLC for free. The other thing that surprised me was Mr. Big, who is a Art of Fighting boss, which means Ryo, Robert, and Yuri are probably going to be DLC a little bit down the line, maybe, or at the very least, Ryo in his older Mr. Karate form. I wouldn't be surprised.
I can see that. Although it is crazy to actually see Street Fighter characters, because I'm not going to lie, I thought it was going to be Ryu first before Ken.
So we're supposed to have, like, Ronaldo from soccer something to do with this?
That's the rumor. The rumor is we're supposed to be getting him, too.
Now, we aren't getting Ryu either. Ryu's big, like, SNK rival is Kyo.
Yeah.
It's Terry and Ken.
I can see that, though. But Tafara, what do you think?
Solid Season 1 lineup for fighting fans. So it seems like they pulled a little bit everywhere. And I'm guessing everyone gets Ken because Ryu was like, hey, you can come to Smash, but you're only allowed to be here. Nowhere else.
That's what it feels. That's what it seems like. But as you can see, guys, like we said, the beta for Fatal Fury is out, or as we already dubbed it, Garo 2, again, is out there for you guys to play with. Let us know what you think as we wait for the full version to come out, which won't be too far off from now. But switching gears for a second, because what I'm about to say next is probably going to throw a lot of people off, but we'll show your age if I say 3 words. Samurai Pizza Cats. Again, if you're pretty much our ages in this group, you've known what Samurai Pizza Cats is. Now,
I'm just looking at Tafari, and he's like, "Do I remember this?"
But what's so crazy about this is now not only you should remember it, they're actually coming out with a video game. So they're kind of joining Battletoads and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Double Dragon. It seems like the nostalgia ride keeps going on. But if you have not seen the trailer for Samurai Pizza Cats, here it is.
It is a joy.
Welcome back to Little Tokyo, where some big news has just reached the big cheese.
A video game, 30 years later, and these old-fashioned furballs are getting a new video game? These darn pizza cats are always stealing my spotlight. I haven't felt this angry since our cartoon show stopped airing on TV.
Calm down, Zero. If pizza cats are getting a new game, that means we will be cast as the main villains, right? Our voice actors are even recording a scene that we're doing right now.
But I'm supposed to be the lead. I'm probably not even going to be a playable character.
Calm down, Gina, I have a plan. We could blind the enemies to talk super powerful road to us. And then we can bring to the best pizza cat once in a while.
Right, the animators, what a brilliant idea. And with those annoying pizza cats out of the way, I'll become the new emperor of Little Tokyo once and for all.
Oh no! Isn't there anyone who can stop this cast-off supervillain?
So, the big cheese is up to his old tricks again, huh? Got 9 lives, 14 teams!
And when the game gets tough, you know who to call.
We are the Samurai Pizza Cats!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Samurai Pizza Cats are back with a brand new video game. The Big Cheese has an evil scheme up his sleeve, and it's up to you, the player, to stop him from taking over Little Tokyo. Switch between your favorite cats, Speedy, Guido, and Polyester, and get ready for some nostalgic pepperoni action. So put on your best pajamas, because we're going to party like it's 1991 with the return of the Samurai Pizza Cats.
As Joe has already said this in the stream, and I gotta say this again, this was not on my bingo list of 2025. But as you can see, guys, it is going to be wishlisted on Steam. Currently in development for all major platforms, so you probably will see this on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, Steam, and all other areas. Fellas, how we feeling about this? I mean, because it looks great. At first, I thought I was still watching the cartoon, but if that's the gameplay, I want to give it a shot. But what do you guys think?
Joe is going to find something to add to my mental flashbang.
Oh no, I'm just turning on more light.
It feels familiar, but I don't. First off, it came out 5 years before I was born, but I've definitely seen it on definitely passed by it in the days of like anime and 8 3-minute part YouTube land.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. But Joe, you caught this one before I did, sir. What's your thoughts on it?
I just couldn't believe that they're coming back with Samurai Pizza Cats.
You know, the crazy part about this is this just kind of adds to the whole thing of the nostalgic. I mean, outside of just cartoons that we love that they're bringing back as video games, I love the fact that all of them are crisp. Not bad. I mean, none of them look bad. They all look great. And just they look fun to play, and I kind of want to give this a shot. Although,
so you can watch Samurai Pizza Cats right now on Peacock or Pluto.
Well, there you go. For all those that don't know, Safari, you need to remember. If you need a refresher, sir, it's on Peacock if you want to watch it.
I mean, if this gets the game, Tattoo Teenagers from Outer Space fans, you may hold out hope. You might get a shot.
Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters. Why do I still know that? Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills.
I still wanted Mystic Knights of Karen and Og.
That, you know what? That should be a running ice cream sandwich bet. Which game gets made? Which show gets made to a video game first?
And then we're all wrong, and it's Maxie's World.
That would be a hell of a curveball. That's a hell of a curveball because I would not see that coming.
The Beverly Hill Teens.
Oof. That'd be something else. But anyway, we will definitely let you guys know when Samurai Pizza Cats does become available. But also other shows that other trailers that we do have before we get back into our video game bits. I was actually happy about this one because I didn't think, outside of Anthony Mackie getting his flowers for Brave New World, for a lot of people that don't remember, he was also in the Peacock series Twisted Metal. Now, some people like Twisted Metal, some people didn't like Twisted Metal. I was a part of the first. I love Twisted Metal. I love the way how Sweet Tooth was done between Will Arnett and Samoa Joe's body. Samoa Joe using his body for the body of Sweet Tooth, and I thought that was great. It did end as if it was showing a season 2, which again they just announced that Twisted Metal is getting their season 2, and this is how it looks.
The name's John Doe. Until a year ago, my life on the road was pretty routine. I met a drifter, we fell in love, we picked up a clown along the way. But the joyride is over. The tournament is here. I'll need to end every last driver that gets in my way. No pressure or anything.
I am Calypso, and I invite you to compete.
So I'm not complaining, guys, because that was the trailer for season 2. And again, if you're a fan of the video game, there are a number of people that already they have shown. Of course, Dollface and her group was seen at the end of season 1 as she's looking for John Doe. You just saw, let's be honest, that's Axel. That's going to be all there as well. Calypso, for all those that don't know, is pretty much the MC behind the tournament and the guy that grants wishes, but he's a walking monkey's paw. But I'll let y'all figure that out if y'all ever play the game. But yeah, if this next season's covering the tournament, I'm not complaining. I just hope that they can match up to that same level that they had in season 1, or at least, keep what actually made the show fun to watch. But Joe, any thoughts on Twisted Metal season 2? You muted, Joe.
Not really. I just got to see it. Calypso kind of looks like Tom Holland with a wig and a little angrier.
Yeah,
it's a completely different dude. He just has like that facial design.
I am so glad I'm not the only person that thought that.
I went to Google just to see if it wasn't Tom Holland.
If Tom Holland ever went dark side, I was looking at that. I was like, wow. If Tom Holland,
honestly, kind of surprised vehicle combat is not a bigger genre now that we're in an online world.
You would think so, but I just want to know if they're going to stick with because with Twisted Metal, especially Black was probably one of the darker storytelling of the game series. So outside that one, then the revamp one back in 2007, 2006. But again, I'm not knocking it. I definitely am wanting to watch what happens in season 2, especially between John Doe and Dollface, because that's going to be an interesting dynamic. But Tafari, have you ever watched Twisted Metal?
I haven't. I've seen clips. It seems like a decent enough show. I also don't want it to fail because I won't get another show for 30 years.
Right.
I'm curious how far they're going to take it or what stories get adapted because, yeah, the last one I played was Black, and it was so weird to pair with the kids game like War of the Monsters because you had to have a file on that to get a costume on there with Mecha Sweet Tooth. And I was like, this isn't like fun, blow them up. There's like horror stories in this game and everything's like creepy and stuff. And apparently the game's like kind of hard to find now. So
yeah, which is crazy. Which again, it goes back to our thing about physical media. You guys, I mean, not to interrupt you, Tafari, but again, this is the reason why we keep talking about physical media, because as things come up that people are going to be interested in, the harder it is going to be find stuff. I mean, Tafari, you can go to Tafari TV and he'll tell you, steelbook hunting is becoming more difficult to find things now. So, if anything, especially in the ways of video games, especially older video games, even imports, which imports used to be the easiest thing to get, not anymore. But again, with Twisted Metal Season 2, that does come out on Peacock. Season 1 is available on Peacock free to watch in case you want to give it a shot. But like Tafari said, it's the whole thing of keeping, trying to support video game shows because they don't really have a good track record on television networks, especially movies, because even One Piece on Netflix, and how they did it was still, let's be honest, it was good, but we were worried because Netflix does like the ratings, even though they do throw money at useless projects. But anyway, check out Twisted Metal on Peacock. Season 2 definitely coming up. Back to video games.
Now, I got to ask one thing with Anthony Mackie. Are we posting, we showing the This is Captain America dance?
I meant to go look that up during this next trailer. Yeah, I'm showing. Oh, I'm definitely showing that because that needs to be shown. The whole dance line when he got introduced on the Jennifer Hudson show. Yep, I'm fine. I'm getting that.
It's on my wall.
Gotcha. But yeah, outside of that, well, like I said, with Twisted Metal Season 2 coming up, should be interesting. Now, WWE 2K25. Still haven't played it yet. Well, actually, nobody's played it yet because it's not out yet. That being said, they did actually have a new trailer for the Bloodline because, let's be honest, if you've been watching wrestling, at least for the last 2 years, the Bloodline has basically been the only story across the WWE. That being said, it's got its own trailer for its next part of WWE 2K25.
For the first time in WWE history, an interactive documentary of the Bloodline. Some of the most ferocious battles
Hulk Hogan is finished
against the greatest warriors in the family.
You're the new Intercontinental Champion.
This year, we're going to give you a chance to right the historical wrongs and change history.
Vengeance is mine!
To move more glory to the Bloodline.
3 minutes and just about up!
Welcome to the Bloodline's Dynasty.
Now, that was the trailer for the Bloodline Dynasty. As you can see, guys, WWE 2K25 does have 3 versions. Of course, the base version, the Dead Man Returns version, and of course, the Bloodline Edition, which actually does have the Bloodline Dynasty, in which we just covered. All available March 14th. Now, with that being said, does it make you want to play the Dynasty, or is the fact that almost every major video game at this point is going to have their own hub, if you will?
For anything 2K or EA that's an annual release, is it worth buying DLC at all? Because the game's obsolete like a year. I don't see the point.
I'd say I agree with you just because unless you're just that much of a diehard fan and you want to, because I know for W2K25, they do have skins and different costumes for all the wrestlers. I do know some wrestlers do get released at a certain point when they're actually available on the roster, trying to treat it the same way like NFL does their combines. When NFL does the combine and does their drafts and have their players immediately available for Madden, it's kind of the same way WWE actually does their wrestlers for 2K25 and up. Now, I agree with you. It's not really worth it unless you're just wanting to get the most updated rosters. But that goes to a dedicated few. At least that's in my opinion. But, Joe, what do you think?
I only play these things when they end in a 4 so I can do the WrestleMania stuff.
Fair enough. Although I will say this before we move on, I do like the fact that it does got to go back to the previous matches because not a lot of people remember Yokozuna or Rikishi or the Flying Samoans, or the Wild Samoans, Jimmy Snuka, Tamina. I can keep going down the list because there's a lot of them. Jamal and Rosie, also Samoans. For a lot of people, don't realize that Samoan tree has got a crap load of branches. That's all.
You know who I didn't see in that, which was weird?
Who's that?
Umaga.
Yeah, he's not in unless they just come. I mean, I'm hoping he's in there because that's the same tree. All of them are related. All I gotta say is family reunions gotta be something else. But anyway, again, that is the Bloodline Dynasty for WWE 2K25 that will be available March 14th. That being said, we can move on to the Sony State of Play that did happen last week and our picks that we had for it. I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to start with Sonic just because, Tafari, you've already played Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. You got the closed beta to it. Anything you want to talk about before we play the trailer?
We can play it first, and then I can, if there's anything in the trailer, I can reference what I've done here. So we'll do it after.
All right. For all those that didn't watch Sony State of Play, this is Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. All right, so that was Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. As you can see, will be definitely coming soon, and will be available on PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, and Steam. So, like we said before the beginning of this, Tafari, you've actually had a chance to actually play the beta closed version of this, which looks freaking beautiful, sir. But what's your thoughts on it?
It plays like any racing game. The switching of like mechanics for each terrain is cool.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is like when you're flying or in the water, the drift button is now merged into like the jump or like barrel roll.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to do both, and that's like the only thing that has like been, I think they need to tweak. There's like weapons and stuff, but it doesn't really slow you down outside of like a few. It's really about, can you keep your momentum versus can you get in your opponent's way. The world switching aspect is kind of cool, but it's determined by whoever's in first place. So like if you go down like a straight road, and then whichever lane you pick, it switches. So even if the person passes you, you've now determined where everybody's gonna go. Not a lot of throwbacks to the other stuff. The water portions of the game kind of remind me. It's like old Sega games, Hydro Thunder type gameplay. Secret Paths. It's good for a racing game. They've done something cool. Especially if you got like young kids, I think this would be something fun for them to pick up.
So, is there a reason to get this over Sonic Racing Transformed? Because Transformed seems to be a bit more robust than this right now.
I would say Transformed probably paved the way from this, and they took a lot of elements from it. Especially with like the emoting in the lobbies that they added. I think they're gonna try to make it a bit more social. I think it's the next step in evolution for that racing franchise, so I would pick it up.
I mean, it does look.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
So does that mean we're getting other characters other than just the Sonic franchise?
That's the only part I don't know. They put a lot of the base characters and then one of the bad guys from Lost World because I guess people remember that game.
Mm-hmm.
So, it is.
Because if you go to the actual website, it does say other characters. So I'm kind of wondering why they're only showing Sonic characters.
Fair assessment. It could be. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Far.
I'll say, let me see if I can pull the lobby back up because it had other characters in there.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the last one? Sonic Racing Transform, or was it Sega and Sonic? Because I remember one.
No, it was Sonic Racing Transform. The last one was Sonic Racing Double Team.
Okay.
So we have in the lobbies. Come on, load.
Look, I just want to be able to play as Kiryu or Majima while racing.
I do feel like if this does do well, they'll start bringing in other franchises. Let me see who they have on the character select. So yeah, we have Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow, Omega, Eggman, Cream, and then Zaz, and then there is 2, 3, 4, 5, 14, 17, 18, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 other slots that are unused right now.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not that many Sonic characters unless we're getting the entirety of the Chaotix, Werehog, Silver.
I can see that. It just depends, though. But I mean, it looks fun to play. I like it. I mean, it did give me Mario Kart vibes, but then again, it just goes to show you there's nothing really more to compare it to. But I still want to play it.
I did see they had hoverboards in here, so I would not be surprised if they're trying to appeal to the the Sonic Riders fandom. And I think they're taking a little bit of everything they've done up to this point, just putting it in here.
I'm not complaining. I think it's great. But again, looking forward to it when it definitely gets wish listed and when they give us a date. But I give it to Sony because the next game is near and dear to my heart because I am a big ass Shinobi fan. Shinobi 3 is still one of my freaking favorite games on Sega. That being said, we have been overdue for a Shinobi game, and I've already got my wish granted with Ninja Gaiden. But we do got a Shinobi game coming out. It's called Shinobi Art of Vengeance, and it looks freaking beautiful.
Forged to unleash vengeance. More than a weapon, it is the soul of a shinobi. No obstacle can stand in their way. Soaring where others would not dare. Striking with lethal precision. Each weapon a tool, each tool a part of the whole. This is the master of Shinobi. The legend continues.
And that, guys, everybody dropped. There we go. Sorry. So that, guys, was Shinobi Art of Vengeance. That's the trailer. Pre-orders are out right now because the game will be available. Let me just make sure I got that right. Thank you. August 29th. So we're not that far off from August. I know it feels like we just got into 2025, but the game will be available in August of this year. You can pre-order right now. Again, it's going to be available on PS5, PS4, Switch, Xbox, Steam. I can't tell you how happy this makes me feel because it is taking elements from every Shinobi game. It looks freaking great. I am not gonna lie. The first time I saw this, I was like, "This reminds me of Okami," just because of the art design. But I got nothing else to say about this except take my money. But Joe, any thoughts on Shinobi Art of Vengeance?
Pay attention. Beware of the hawks.
Oh, the falling rocks, the falling rock stage.
No, the falling hawks.
Oh, Hawks. Gotcha. Sorry, took me a second. I thought you were talking about the falling rock stage for a second from 3. But again, I got nothing more I can say about this. This is one of the games that they showed the state of play that just literally got my attention and immediately had me writing down release dates and trying to preload like I could, like I could preload a game. But Tafari, you ever played Shinobi games? If so, sir, does this make you want to play it?
Yeah, I played a couple back in the day. I had like a summer camp I used to be at that had the console set up. But yeah, you can have done right, a good ninja side scroll you can never go wrong with. So they very much have captured that classic element and at least added a new flavor to it. So I might give it a shot.
Oh, I'm down. I'm sorry. I know sometimes supposed to be impartial when we're reporting on games, but there are just some games where I look at that and I just go, I'm freaking hooked. There's nothing more I can say that except I'm hooked. But speaking of games that are being hooked, this also gave us another trailer at State of Play for Omnimusha Way of the Sword. And again, if you weren't already on the fence about playing this game, this next trailer should probably put you over the edge.
Let's see your best today!
Swordplay is a game of strength. Winning is what matters. And you can bring as many friends as you want. Not good. What got them so riled up?
I'm glad you're unharmed.
Who? What?
And as you can see, guys, that was the trailer for Omnimusha Way of the Sword. Will be coming out next year. Right now for PS5. Now it could come to Xbox. As of right now, we're completely unsure. But fellas, what are we thinking here?
How long has it been since we had another Onimusha game?
Oh, when was 3?
No, it wasn't 3. It's that one that doesn't have a number.
Omnimusha Warlords? That's a good question.
No, Onimusha Dawn of Dreams, 2006.
Okay, 2006. So, good God. It's been a while. It's been at least 20. It's been at least 20.
Oh, no.
Say what?
No, he's British.
Yeah.
I said, oh no, he's British.
I was going to say, what was I hearing? I couldn't tell. Like,
correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Musashi not British? Am I wrong?
I think you got the English or the UK trailer. I've only been listening to the Japanese trailer, so I had no idea that's what he sounded like for the dub. But I was like, oh man.
Okay, that's a my bad moment. I was like, wait a minute, Musashi's not British.
Is it Blue Eyes? Is it Blue Eyes Samurai? But the kid stayed with the dad's family, or
probably
No, so
it's the dub.
Onimusha is continuing its trend of using very famous actors as their face models. This is Toshiro Mifune. If you guys are not aware of that name, he was the actor for Sandro and Yojimbo of that was directed by Akira Kurosawa. This is young Toshiro Mifune.
Okay.
What older Toshiro Mifune looks like. He is in the Onimusha anime on Netflix, where it's older Miyamoto Musashi. He's apparently Miyamoto Musashi in both anime and game. It's just they're using young Toshiro Mifune in this game and older Toshiro Mifune in the anime.
Gotcha.
We do not know at this point if the game and anime are linked. It could just be coincidence that they're using Mifune and Musashi as protagonists, but if you're going to go that far, it's more than likely they're linked, because the anime kind of makes it seem like he knows what the Oni Gauntlet is.
Mm-hmm.
Even just like in the first episode, he knows what the Oni Gauntlet is, so it's more than likely this is kind of a prequel to the anime.
I can see that.
This is just my speculation, but yeah, we are getting legendary Japanese actor Toshiro Mifune likeness in this game, his younger self. Please go watch Yojimbo and Sandro. Those are two like classic movies.
I agreed. But again, we've talked about Onimusha Way of the Sword. We've sat there and said that we are all down for it. But we do have some additional news, and I got to thank Joe for this one. John Reno. Apologize if I mispronounced.
John Reno.
Thank you. I apologize if I completely destroyed your name, sir. No, my apologies. If you don't remember him, he was actually in Onimusha 3. He has sat there and he was actually asked, would he come back to reprise his role in a remaster, which he said he would be pleased to. Now, of course, we did also talk about that Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny was going to be remastered. And with Way of the Sword coming out, it is possible that Capcom may go ahead and greenlight Onimusha 3. Now, if they do, again, it's a slam dunk. If you have not played Onimusha 3, if you still have a PS2, and if you still have said copy, or if you can find a way, I know there's still a lot of retro game sites out there. But if you can find a way to play Onimusha 3, it is definitely fun. And his character, well, I just won't spoil it. Let's just say he's interesting. But I'm not against it. I love the fact to see him come back and reprise his role in Onimusha 3, because Capcom, I'm not saying Capcom is not bracing for the lull of Street Fighter 6, but let's just say they got a couple of titles out there right now that are cooking that will be great for them in the long run. But anything else, guys, you want to add on to Onimusha Way of the Sword before we move on?
That's pretty much it for me.
Joe?
I don't even know why you would ask me such a preposterous question.
Just in case, hey, you might know something more about it, because again, I'm trying to think of anything else outside of take my money, which is that's all I got for Onimusha Way of the Sword. Take my money, literally and figuratively. But moving right along, guys, there were some other trailers in the State of Play, which again also caught our eye. This one called Hell Is Us. Again, I am all for different type of titles and IPs and how they play, because we keep asking for different stories. We keep asking for different type of gameplay. If you haven't seen the trailer for Hell Is Us, now's your chance.
When the fury of emotions sparks the wildfire of violence, it dissolves our illusions and exposes the fragile structure of reality.
I have 1,000 questions. Why did you come back?
I stood in the home I was born in. In that moment, I felt a connection.
Epsilon 11, sound off. Where are my men?
They're gone.
Choose your next move wisely.
What happened here?
Madness and hatred and lots of it.
Impossible. It's you.
We must continue. We've begun to uncover.
All right, so that was a trailer for Hell Is Us, guys. As you can see, will be actually coming out September 4th of this year. The only thing, and it is different. Like I said before, we want different gameplay. Kind of need to see it. Only reason because if you really want to sell people, visually graphics, okay, cool. Common, Alan Wake, Dead Space, whodunit kind of thing, kind of feel to it. Cool. There is a slight horror factor to it. Again, no problem. But we are going to have to see, we're going to need to see gameplay to really be sold on this. But that's just my opinion. But guys, what do y'all think about Hell Is Us?
Got my attention, but there was so much going on in those last 30 seconds. It seems like a slightly more sci-fi-esque Evil Within, but you might need a gameplay trailer and then another story trailer, because it's both seem decent. I just don't know what is what.
Very much. Joe?
Same.
I mean, that's the thing about, I would think there would be a little bit of gameplay. I'm like 30 seconds at least, but I mean, the next to nothing, it just kind of makes you just want to go, ugh. But like I said, still want to see it. And of course, it's because September, which means that we will get a summer of games coming up in the next couple of months. We might see some more gameplay. We might actually see gameplay. We might actually see something more. We might actually see GTA 6 get announced. I'm sorry, that was wrong. That was wrong. That was wrong. I apologize profusely. That was wrong. But I'm just saying, we may get more information as it gets close to that summer of games, or if there is a next state of play, or if there is a just random showcase. Game companies have been known to do that now since we don't have an E3 anymore. But anyway, next trailer that we do have, I did actually have this for one of our other podcast people for Whoopty because she loved it. I actually went back and actually saw this trailer called Lost Soul Aside. It looks great, but for everybody else who hasn't seen it, I'll let you guys be the judges of it.
I keep having the same dream. A horrible dream. Where monsters invade our world. A powerful being falls from the sky. And when it seems they might vanquish the invaders, the dream ends. Is this really just a dream? My only hope lies with you.
Come, Kaiser. We will travel across worlds, leap through dimensions together. I see great power within you, a destiny waiting to be fulfilled. Let me be your vengeance, the blade in your hand. Never wanted to be a hero.
but for humanity's sake.
You must.
Then give me your power, Arena.
All right, so that was the trailer, guys, for Lost Soul Aside. As you can see, will be available May 30th of this year, coming to PS5 and PC. I'm not gonna lie. First time I saw this, I'm like, oh, it's a continuation of Final Fantasy 15, just because graphics-wise. But I'm not gonna lie, for a little bit of the gameplay they did actually show, the graphics, how it's set up, it looks like it's definitely gonna be fun to play. So, guys, what do you think about Lost Soul Aside?
It's giving me Final Fantasy cinematics with Wukong gameplay.
Agreed. Joe?
This is the original version of Final Fantasy 15 brought to life.
Mm-hmm. It really is. That's why I was like, when I first saw it, I'm like, this is Final Fantasy 15.
He really wants to make that version of the game. He really wants to.
Although I'm not against it. Final Fantasy 15 was still great in its own aspect. But Lost Soul Side looks like it's going to be great too. So again, comes out this year for PS5 and for PC, because, you know, PCs are eventually going to be the one last system that plays all games anyway. But also another thing that got thrown in, Lies of P Overture. I need to apologize because this is not a DLC. I thought it was a DLC, but the more I looked into this, what we're about to show is not the DLC, guys. This is actually the prequel to the first Lies of Pi's game. I know. Just go with me. Just watch the trailer first.
Can it be winter all of a sudden?
I'm sorry. You want to know the year?
What a pleasure to meet a stalker worthy of the name. It's been far, far too long.
Oh, my forever friend. Help me to hold your hand and dance.
You're not the puppet I was expecting. Who are you?
Just looking for someone.
Legendary. She stepped up only because no one else could. Too many stalkers were lost to that evil.
I'll do whatever it takes. Your survival is all that matters. Nothing else comes close, not even my life. I swear I won't be late. Not again.
Okay, so that was Lies of Pi Overture, guys. As you can see, comes out summer of this year. Now, like I was explaining beforehand, you're probably wondering, like everybody else, oh, this is just a DLC. Nope. According to Neowitz, it is not the DLC. This is actually the story before the events of the first game, basically getting to meet the first Stalker outside of P, which is obviously Pinocchio, for all those that are wondering. It looks great. I mean, I love Lies of P. It was frustratingly fun to play just because it does play Souls-like. You do have to learn to use defense as well as countering, knowing which weapon to go with, knowing how you want to fight, really learning the bosses because they all challenged you. But overall, it was fun. Will I play this when it comes out in 2025? Comes out this year. Comes out either June or July this year. Sure. I want to give it a shot because I just want to see more of the story. But guys, does this make y'all want to play Lies of P, or do y'all want to wave at it as it passes y'all by?
I feel like I missed the wave on the first game, so I don't know. If they drop any kind of trailers or they get more into the story or the catch up or a demo, I might check it out. Who's played the previous games excited? I just feel like I'm not. I feel like there's a whole lot of context and stuff I'm missing.
No, understood. Joe?
Yeah, not really my thing. try again later when the sequel comes out, because the sequel's supposed to be based around Wizard of Oz.
Right. Which again, I'm surprised that this came out before the sequel did. That's the part
they probably could do an asset flip really easily and need more time for the Wizard of Oz development.
Yeah, fair. Now, before we dive into Annihilation, just to go ahead and just kind of wrap this up, Mind's Eye and Sorrows were also a part of the state of play. Still, those are kind of in development just because they didn't really have a lot to them. So that's the reason why we're not showing them. But before we get to our show reviews, again, Tides of Annihilation was another one out of the state of play that was worth watching. If you haven't seen it, here's the trailer.
No one knows how that world came to be. It devoured everything from the past. Only I was left. That was a fatal mistake.
It's the aura of the Grail pieces. I can sense it. As long as it is reforged.
My wish can be fulfilled.
But wishes come at a price.
To pursue one's wishes is to court one's doom.
Holy Grail. Blood. This is a feast only for the king.
Gwendolyn, this is your final warning.
My quarrel lies not with you, but I will take back everything that belongs to me. Even if the price is my soul. The table is dead. It exists no more.
All right. And that was the trailer for Tides of Annihilation, guys. As you can see, it is on wishlist now. It is in development for PS5. It's another different type of game. It's I'm not gonna say it's Souls-like. It looks like it might be. It may or may not. It's kind of hard to tell at the moment, but it just draws you in. It really does. I know it does for me. But what do you guys think?
Interesting combat concept. It's giving Souls like God of War-esque, which I'm perfectly fine with. Seems like you have some adventure bits as well as like arena fights for the bosses. So story, I'm curious to see what that plays out like. It's looking very, I don't know, there was a cross at the end, so some religion maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was getting from that. Joe, what do you think?
I'll give it a shot. This isn't really my forte, but they got a demo. I'll at least do the demo.
Which again, gaming companies out there, demos, beta testing. Just saying, bring it back. But that was our picks from State of Play. Like I said, let us know what you guys in the comments think. What y'all thought of State of Play? Did you think Sony knocked out of the park, or did a lot of these were missteps, or were you expecting Bloodborne? You let us know what you guys think. But moving right along to movies and television, guys. Kevin Hart has got a new series coming out, and I swear it reminds me of Everybody Hates Chris. It's called Little Kev.
Head ringworm, dumbass motherfucker! Man, you gotta love the hustle and bustle of my amazing neighborhood. Evan, you better get your natural blood behind
before those street lights come on. Don't worry, man. I'm just enjoying the sights and sounds of my city. Got plenty of time. Oh, snap.
Hey, that's my little brother Kevin you laughing at. I didn't tell you to stop. Just wanted to let you know what his name is.
My job is to keep you healthy and safe. And if I have to destroy your spirit in the process, so be it.
I'm gonna be a better dad for you boys starting right now. Ooh, yeah. If you embarrass me, I will body roll your tiny, smooth, criminal-looking ass out a window. You gotta be tough here.
Okay. What does that mean?
I'll demonstrate. It means say what you say.
Saying it louder doesn't really make me understand that.
I graduated from Yale Law, but I chose to move back here in this community.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Get ready to get made by your boy Lil Ken. Let me bring you down. Okay, that's enough. Wait, I'm almost done.
Hammer two.
This is a lady's bag. It should be hard for this kind of free labor.
Wow. Well, that was a trailer for Little Kev. It'll be on BET Plus streaming March 6th. Fellas, are we getting Boondocks mixed with a little bit of Everybody Hates Chris, with a little bit of the PJs, and will you watch it?
Funny because Everybody Hates Chris is now doing a cartoon, so it could honestly fit that niche. It's just, if you watch any of his early stand-up, a lot of his references are there. It's just see how far they take it in animated form, especially since it's apparently going to be a more adult explicit show. If they do what they do lately, which is like they put a free episode on YouTube, I'll check it out.
Fair. Joe?
I mean, I don't have BET, so I have no idea.
I would probably give it a shot just because, we'll never get the Boondocks again. Shout out to Martian Blueberry. Shout out to Aaron Magruder. We will never get the Boondocks again, as much as I would love to have it. But it's nice to see that other shows are trying to kind of fill that void. Now, Little Kev does seem to fill that. Gonna see how long it hangs out there, but I'll give it a shot when it comes out. But let us know in the comments what you guys think. Moving right along. This is going to be something that I'm going to be leaning heavily upon Joe and Tafari and many of other members of our podcast group about, because this was announced on our podcast group, and now I'm bringing it here. It seems we're getting a new Avatar coming to Nickelodeon called Avatar 7 Havens. This is basically going to be following another Earthbender who is basically the next Avatar following Korra. Now, I'm going to be completely honest about this, and I might also get hazed for this. I did not watch The Legend of Korra. I did watch some episodes of The Last Airbender. Love the series on Nickelodeon. I admit I did not watch any Legend of Korra. So, Joe, Tafari, those in the comments. You guys have watched Legend of Korra, and now that we're getting a new Avatar, is it worth watching this, or is this kind of validating what some people thought about Legend of Korra? Or am I completely off the mark and should just enjoy it?
I'd say Korra's overhated. I think it's just a matter of comparison of what she deals with and how her show went, and some of the choices either writing or her own personal choices. And it's just like, so worst Avatar confirmed, or did they just see the Korra hate train and said, let's cash in on it? Because Avatar is a show that could be touched on, an IP that could be touched on a lot more than it is. But it doesn't need to be overdone at the same time. But I'm very curious that they went with twins for this one. Yeah, that depending on how this show goes, I may need a writing credit, Dan Schneider. I'm also curious to see what world-ending event came after the Legend of Korra, because supposedly the show ends with the spirit world and the real world living in harmony. Unless the treaty was broken, I'm not sure. It's Avatar, so I know that the creators are on board, so I'll give it a shot.
All right, fair enough. Joe, anything else you want to add to it?
I want to see what year this takes place in, because Avatars usually jump ahead like 60 to 80 years, because we were like in, I don't know, like 1930, 1920, so it should be like the 90s or the 2000s.
Okay.
In the world of the Avatar, so I want to see what, like, if they are, in order to avoid, like, I don't like saying this phrase, but like urban Avatar, urban city Avatar, they had to have a cataclysm to where everything kind of goes back to like Aang level technology and Aang style. I want to see what that is or why it happened like that, because I mean, I would have thought Avatar, start my car, car doesn't start, do a little jig with being a firebender, start my own car with some lightning bending.
Okay.
Or just Fred Flintstone a car via earth bending.
I can see that.
So I mean, like, they got to take it back. They got to roll back the technology because it's just like I just want to see what this is going to be like.
No, fair enough. I actually have to go back and go watch Legend of Korra myself before I start this, because I kind of feel like I'm doing a disservice not to actually give it a fair shot. But Seven Havens, like I said, it sounds like it's going to be good. Every time I hear someone mention Last Airbender, as long as it's not the M. Night Shyamalan version, people seem to love it. I haven't seen too many people actually not hate it. But again, as we'll get more information as it comes out, Nickelodeon, we will definitely review it and go from there. Speaking of reviews, Captain America, Brave New World. We are going to talk a bit about it, spoiler free, because again, this is the second weekend. This is the second weekend for the movie. The first weekend, it obviously did well, made over almost $200 million in its first weekend. Bound to actually break the $500 million mark if it follows track this weekend. So we are not going to go into direct details about Brave New World, just because we want to give everybody a fair shake to see it. We will say that there is an end credit, and then there's one credit at the end. So again, it's a Marvel movie. Let's be honest, you should be sticking to the end anyway. Although it's 2025, we still find ourselves saying that. But before we actually play, before we actually do get into what we thought of Captain America: Brave New World, we first must give Anthony Mackie his due.
Captain America, hey, he's walking the stage. He's walking the stage. Anthony Mackie, Captain America, he's walking the stage. He's walking the stage. Anthony Mackie, Captain America, he's walking the stage. He's walking the stage. Anthony Mackie, Captain America, he's walking the stage. He's walking the stage. Captain America, he's walking the stage. He's walking the stage. Anthony Mackie, Captain America, he's walking the stage. He's walking the stage. Anthony Mackie, Captain America, he's walking the stage. He's walking the stage. Anthony Mackie, Captain America, he's walking the stage. He's walking the stage. Anthony Mackie, Captain America, he's walking the stage. He's walking the stage.
You gotta love it. So
that song becomes more and more relevant every year.
It really does. You ain't lying. So with Captain America, guys, I'm just gonna throw it around the round table. So this is spoiler free, guys. For all those who are watching, you do not have to worry. We're not going into direct details about this movie. Around the bend, what do we think of Brave New World, folks?
I'll say underrated, overhated.
Joe?
Good movie. People do not understand the identity of this movie and who this is actually, what the audience intended audience is actually supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. I have some complaints about like some of the more gamma radiated cast members, but that is because we were leaning towards that in other films, and then they didn't follow through. But that's just me.
Okay.
That's me being the he doesn't look like that in the book kind of stuff. But I mean, I got over it. It's fine. It was a decent movie. I enjoyed it. I understood the message. I understood the homework. The end credit scene was like I feel like you could have done better.
Okay. I will also say, I agree with everybody. It is completely over. It's overhated for no reason. And again, I'm just going to stress very heavily, critics are paid to hate stuff. Folks are getting clicks to say they hate stuff. And it's not like the Snyderverse. I think we all can't come together and say, except for a select group of incels, that this was not the movie we wanted for DC. However, for Captain America's Brave New World, I loved it. I have no issue with it. I love the fact they did take some risk. They did take some risk in telling certain stories. They also was able to tie up some loose ends, and they also opened it up to where, in other words, some what ifs could have happened. Overall, not complaining. Mackie knocks out the park, making the Shield his own. And just going from there, it was just really a solid movie. Now, was it a perfect movie? Absolutely not. Not by any means. Was it worth it in the replay value of watching it again? Yes. It's just the fact that if you were on the fence about watching Brave New World, you highly should actually watch it. Give it its fair shot, because this is the Cap going forward. They have already sat there and said this is the Captain America moving forward in the current telling of the MCU story, of the MCU sacred timeline. So, with that being said, it is worth a watch. I will basically leave it at that. But I'll throw one more question about Brave New World, and we can say this because this has already been publicly announced. Did they actually lose anything from not having certain members of the Serpent Society in the movie?
As someone who doesn't know much about them, probably not. I think they were a nice addition. I think this movie did a good job of introducing some characters and at least let them know or want more, to where when they pop up again, it at least feels rewarding versus like, wow, that movie just left us hanging for no reason. Because I like Sidewinder. I'm here for him just showing up and just ruining people's day in the MCU. Very much kind of like how they use Taskmaster in the cartoons. Like, he will just coincidentally be on a mission that Spider-Man or Deadpool end up on, and then chaos ensues. I'm very much there for that with Sidewinder. I would be down for even if possibly the next Cat movie could be a Serpent Society film.
Hopefully so. Joe, about you?
We were missing somebody getting curb stomped, but that's about it. What, he got cut from the movie? That's not my fault.
No, I just thought to myself, well played. I just thought about myself that Seth Rollins did get cut from the movie, but
the wrestler guy, right?
Yeah, he got cut. He got cut from Brave New World, although he was also playing one of the Serpent Society too. So I'm also the same way. I don't think a loss, certain characters from the Serpent Society not being in there, I don't think harmed the movie. I think it actually, the movie was still going to do great on its own for what they had. I don't think it was a loss there. And like I said, it's hard because I'm trying not to say it, but it's already what we've said in our groups and various other groups about how certain Avengers are being formed. I'm just waiting. If the next movie doesn't show the fifth one, if the next movie at this point shows the fifth one, we are getting another Avenger. We're getting two Avenger teams. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. If the next film showcases who we think it showcases, then yeah, we're gonna have two sets of Avengers. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, overall, let us know what you guys thought about Brave New World. Again, solid movie. But
That and the person that everybody was so up in arms about is in it for like 5 minutes. It's not that big a damn deal.
Pretty much.
She really did not make or break the movie for me at all.
I mean, she's pivotal to the main character, but she's more. I feel she's better used if if Ruffalo was in this.
Fair.
That's fair. I was surprised we got no cameo from. Especially
From either of them.
Yeah, because you're still
I
there.
thought She-Hulk was supposed to be in this.
I don't know if that was ever confirmed. I want to say yes, but I can't say with 100% certainty if that was confirmed or not. Although it would have made sense, but
I was expecting one of them. I'm surprised she hasn't shown up in like the legal aspects of one of these shows. Even with I'm hoping she maybe shows up in Thunderbolts. Or bringing back Netflix show people, Jerry. As much as they wrote her so well that I could not stand that character, I'm shocked she has not shown up as like some evil lawyer to get someone out of a jam.
At least at Thunderbolts, because I mean that's a given. I mean, again, surprising.
But they added what is it, Leela Taylor as the president's aide, and she was her and Shira Haas basically shared screen time to the point where I feel like she kind of overshadowed her a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if they had some suit up scenes or look at the suit, but we're not going to do it this time, like the first Iron Man movie. Because of real life things, they had to cut a lot of it. So, and even then, people are like, "She's in it. I'm not going." I'm like, "Have fun at home. I don't know what you want me to do."
Pretty much. Anything more you would have to? Anything more you had to Brave New World, Joe?
No, not really. Not without going into spoilers, and I don't want to do that.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm also surprised.
No, go ahead.
That's a finale thing. Again, that goes into spoilers.
Okay. But like we said, there's end credits. Again, it's a Marvel movie. You should know that by now. But let's.
The other show, R.I.P. William Hurt. This would have been his MCU victory lap. Eric, great job, but getting Ross being a little bit more emotional and I think just flexing his range would have because he was the start to our MCU technically, because we didn't realize the movies were connected until him and Tony walks into the bar at the end of Incredible Hulk, and after the first Iron Man we were like, oh, this is actually going to be like a thing, and would have been his last, at least the last film we really could have used him for, and it's sad he didn't live to see it.
Right. Although, again, would have been a nice addition if he was still with us. But rest in peace, good sir. Outside of that, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man wrapped up its first season. I know a lot of people had some questions about how the episodes were released in batches of 2s and sometimes 3s and sometimes 2s and sometimes 3s. That being said, the final episode is up to watch on Disney Plus. We are going to talk about the spoiler. We are going to talk about this in detail, guys. So if you have yet to actually watch the last episode of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, now would be a good time to either mute us or come back to us in a couple of minutes. Okay, that being said, we're going to go around the bend, fellas. Did season 1 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, did it hit the mark? Did it get our attention? Or should we be concerned for season 2?
I think season 2. I'm excited for season 2 because they opened up so many doors. I hate that Lonnie Lincoln just went to go be a GED dummy when he could have just gone back to school. I was undercover to help Spider-Man. The lie was right there. You could have just, you are my sir. You are a victim. Like, why are we still with these people? Also,
that part.
Why did we let the gang fight happen and everyone just walk away?
Sometimes I just get the fact of it. It's just like you said, with Robbie just hanging on when your whole gang got scattered by Scorpion. You have your get out of jail free card. That's all I'm saying. You could have walked away at that point and been done. But
yeah, Lonnie, had you come back to school, we could be state champs. But no, we lost the big '90s era sports ball competition because of you. So way to go.
And on top of that, I will say this: Otto Octavius. I'm not sure if that's the same voice actor from the animated series. I am not sure about that. It's not okay. Thank you, Joe. So not the same voice actor, but is it odd how his character was handled? Because this is pre arms. This is just basically him just trying to fund his research by any means necessary. And of course, the foreshadowing in jail, where he's designing his mechanical arms, which I guess will make an appearance in season 2. How do we feel about Doc Ock? I mean, do we feel like he was kind of a throwaway villain in this one, or is it just setting up?
This is long game setup.
Okay. Yeah.
So the better question is, and I'm gonna say it in this episode because we've been holding on for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Why is half the 1/10 the Cosby Kids?
I knew that was coming.
Cosby Kids and NPC Miles Morales, who keeps showing up.
We did see Donald. What was it Dumb Donald and Mushmouth?
No, and I think Albert is now seen, and he's got like the blue checker shirt.
Yeah, that's Fat Albert.
So Donald, Albert, Mushmouth, and Dozer are now Lonnie's version of the 1/10s.
But could it be that this is somebody's a Cosby fan? Maybe one of the artists is a Cosby fan for all I know. But no,
I not paying attention. I sent a picture to the guys when I first saw them. Mm-hmm. Then I sent a picture to Chris, and Chris immediately was like, "I gotta go watch this and see if what you're seeing is what I'm seeing." Then he came back to me and apparently agreed with me.
Yeah. It's definitely Cosby Kids. I'm not going to argue that. But the fact,
I thought about this is like, maybe they're throwing us a curveball and he's not going to be Tombstone since he was teaming with Spider-Man and he's black and yellow. Maybe he's this Earth's Power Man.
Possible, although
the chalk hands towards the end of the show.
No, I know that, but like I was thinking before that, when he had the Dioxin 3 thing and he had like the invulnerability, he's like, oh, maybe they're throwing a curveball and he's going to turn out to be this Earth's like Power Man.
I could see that.
And then, of course, in the end, he goes and like continues to be.
You see that.
You see the skin flake, and you see all the stuff. I'm like, okay, well, they had a way to make Lonnie like a new superhero, and we still went Tombstone.
Well, I mean, we got to blame his brother. His brother was the one that set this all in motion. So,
I want to wring his neck every episode. He wasn't even thankful for any of this. It's just like, I wanted a place where I'm at. Get a job, you hippie.
I just want to sit there and say, if it wasn't for his brother, he would have never been in the truck where the gas released. At the same time, his whole thing of, still lying to his mom, taking over the gang, deciding to throw away his high school jacket. I'm like, yeah, he's going on. He's going to be going full Tombstone by next season. Although Nico, who was the one? I forgot. Was it you, Tafara, or was it you, Joe, that called Nico about the necklace? That she's always talking to her necklace.
That was me in one of our group chats because I realized when she was talking to Harry, I was like, okay, no, I thought she was like just talking out loud, but after that episode, I'm like, okay, she's talking like directly into it.
Yeah, which makes me wonder when she sat there and said, hi, Mom, it's been so long. I'm like, I can't place her character anywhere, and it's bugging the crap out of me.
She's from Runaways.
She's from Runaways.
Thank you.
It was in Midnight Suns.
Thank you. It was bugging the crap out of me all day because I couldn't put exactly where it broke.
It's usually she has a staff that she can make anything happen once via a single word. So she has a thesaurus. So she like casts fly, but if she uses fly, she has to like use a different word for fly to cast the same spell again.
Cool. Okay. That was freaking bugging me because I'm like, I know her character from somewhere after that necklace reveal. I just couldn't think of her. Say what? She
has a bad code name.
I just couldn't think of her name to save my life. But also, how do we feel about? I'm sorry, because Chris will come after me if I don't say this right. Coleman put that shit on Domingo as Norman Osborn. Did he nail it for this season, or did he miss it?
Oh no, he nailed it.
Yeah, very much removing Peter from Civil War to keep it from being the MCU carbon copy, but using him as a bargaining chip with Ross, but using somebody else's pictures for Peter as a fake out. I'm very curious to see how this goes. I'm very curious to see if Peter gets outed or enlisted by Norman.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Anybody? No, go ahead.
The time paradox of Norman creating Peter, but by using Peter's DNA, which then leads to create his own spider self, and Philip J. Fry is his own grandfather type.
That was, I did like the time loop at the end, where the whole thing where Doctor Strange was like, "Oh, we're not supposed to." We're not supposed to be here. I'm like, that makes freaking sense. I'm like, I love how they looped the first episode back with the last episode with that. At the same time, still creating the bridge, and you're seeing the Venom symbiote. Where I was like, is it Venom? Is it really Venom, or is it the King in Black? Because the way it looked, I'm like,
it was just a horde of Clintars.
Okay, because that's what I was thinking. I'm like, that feels like it's Venom, just because of what happened. Of course, the shut off to where a piece of Venom has now entered their universe, and of course, Osborn sees it, which lets me think that we're going to get Venom at some point in next season. Also, I do love the fact, again, this is beyond spoilers because they've already posted this for all of their. Before I'm about to say, we do know that Gwen Stacy will be a part of next season, and we also see her in the Gwen. We also see her in the Spider-Gwen suit. So, does this answer the question of where the mystery backpack was in the first episode? Because that's the only thing I can think of.
It could. I'm still curious to see if we get anyone else, or if it maybe went with somebody we know and then got passed off to Gwen. I also feel like we had more than one spider, possibly. It still has samples of his DNA. Also, that was a very large needle to stab into a spider at 5.
That part.
Yeah, I'm very curious if we see like maybe a original bite, or how Peter Prime got his powers, because the time loop thing is so crazy. Because it's like there had to be some original point though where you got a version of you bit by something else. I think it's more confusing the more you talk about it out loud. I'm also people are also saying because there's a open quarterback spot, that could be how we get Eddie Brock, especially with the ending, which is kind of going towards Ultimate Spider-Man territory.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that too. And at the same time, it doesn't. Robbie stepping out, Eddie Brock stepping in, Gwen also stepping in, and then, Peter not really stepping away from Norman, but he's still working with Norman. And of course, Norman is creating his own genetically altered spiders with Peter's DNA, which could lead to other things too. But I love the fact they're kind of shadowing, of course, Dr. Connors being gender swapped, that now she's a woman in this. So there is a chance that we could get the Lizard, which I'm not against that if we are getting the Lizard. We are getting Dr. Octopus. Scorpion is still around. I do love the fact that how they did Matt Gorgon and Scorpion. Also, did anybody catch like 2 episodes back that we saw Rhino?
Oh, yeah. That was a lot to see.
Was he the dude who saved Peter with the helmet?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was right. He's eventually going to be Alexa. The moment he said Alexia, I'm like, that's Rhino.
I heard the accent, but I'm like, which one of y'all is going to be a Sinister Six person? I feel we might get, because of Norman, we might get Sinister Six for hire, or sold in the method of Thunderbolts to Ross and the government when they need them.
Everybody is somebody in this thing. Like the overly wordy Oscorp dude is the Wizard.
Yeah.
So, everybody's somebody in this at this point.
Oh, I'm not knocking it. I'm just sitting there like, I am loving the fact that, I don't want to see a Sinister Six, this season. I can see it for season 3 because they got greenlit for seasons 2 and 3, so they got time. But overall, I'm
what
sorry.
about the big thing?
Say it one more time.
What about the big thing at the end?
Yeah, Papa Parker.
Yeah, Papa Parker.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank you. Where his father was still alive.
Voiced by Spider-Man, Josh Keaton.
That's crazy. Are they really going to go that story? Because technically, I don't think we've ever had, and correct me if I'm wrong, my Spider-Man lore is not that good. Was there ever a continuing story where his father or parents are still alive?
Yes. Fox Spider-Man.
Okay.
I think towards the end they did the Richard and Mary came back and turned out they were robots.
Gotcha. Because that's the one thing. Because I was trying to rack my head about, like I said, my Spider-Man lore is not as good as it used to be. But yeah, now they're trying to say about his father being alive and that May knows he's alive. So that kind of adds an interesting dynamic to it. I mean, the fact that your Aunt May knows that your father is still alive and is in prison, and you thought they were dead the entire time.
I know he said his mom died when he was little, but he never did mention his dad when they were hanging out at the apartment. I mean, as far as his dad being alive, I mean, Andrew's movie tried, but that didn't even make the final cut.
Right. But I think it sets up, like I said, it sets up for a great season 2. It really does set up all these different subplots tied into the main story. And I keep thinking Norman's going to go green. No, I'm waiting for Norman to either figure out that he can use that serum to improve on a super soldier, which again kind of leads into the whole Green Goblin thing. Harry and Nico, I think it's going to be its own. They're going to be their own thing. I see, Harry's either going to find out what Nico can do, or Harry. I don't see Harry hitting the Hobgoblin juice anytime soon. But either way, fellas, just final thoughts before we move on to Dragon Ball. I don't think any of us have anything we can nitpick about this first season, do we?
No, just don't let your lead actor do any more fucking interviews. That's it. Or have with him at all. Put him in a group setting. Interviews with people. Make sure he sits with people, and make sure Shamik Moore interviews by himself. There you go. Let's get everyone back on track.
Which, if you haven't been under a rock, Beyond the Spider-Verse has now been pushed back to 2029. All I got to sit there and say is somebody needs to check on Moore. He's already had 2 bits of bad news already.
And
one of them
between this and Euphoria, which I don't watch. Don't give me any more updates until we have like impact frames or like a storyboard of like squiggly lines to show off something. I don't need any more updates until y'all have actually gone in and created something.
Right. I'm just saying because that dude needs to be watched and bedlipped. But anyway, let us know what you guys think of your Friend Neighborhood Spider-Man for season 1. Season 2 and season 3 will eventually be announced. But again, the current season 1 is definitely on Disney Plus. Definitely give it a shot. That also being said, Dragon Ball Daima. We are going to recap everything up until now since our hiatus on Valentine's Day. I'm just going to sum this up really in a couple of sentences, and then I'm just going to open the floor to everybody else. Goku, Super Saiyan 3. Then getting blessed with Super Saiyan 4. Then turning around and going from Super Saiyan 1 to all the way to 3, and then going back to 4. And then Vegeta has a kink. So, with that being said, fellas, what have we thought about the current episodes of Daima up till now?
I mean, so we've learned the Saiyan does have limits.
Yeah.
Getting put in the doghouse and on the couch.
That part. Joe? I'm sorry, go tomorrow.
It's how fast he stopped fighting and flew over there. Like this entire... This was a Dragon Ball episode with Z characters.
Yeah.
The man loves his wife.
And
his baths.
He loves his baths too. That's why I was like, that one right there was the one that got me. I'm like, you have Bulma turn around and sit there and say, either let them help you or no more bath time. That still felt like a punch to the gut. I'm just saying. That so felt like a punch to the gut. But no, the thing I want to bring up in this, and again, I understand because Super Saiyan 4 was basically GT. Can we now say that Super Saiyan 4 is canon now?
Yeah, it is.
I'm curious if they'll give it a name. Also, what somebody pointed out is it looks like the image that in Battle of Gods, when he's explaining what the Super Saiyan God was originally, the image, what his character design looks like that. So they're saying, what if this is just like demon realm energy powers that he's got, but the weird spike is enough to like trigger Beerus. He sees it in his dream, and that's what sets Battle of Gods in motion.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. It's just that, it's, and I don't mean to be this iffy because I always say Goku has the strongest plot armor of all anime, but it's just like if the Namekian Dragon God basically said, okay, here's a power boost and knocked your Super Saiyan 4, then at the same time, during the battle, you decide, okay, I'm going to go ahead and give you a tutorial on the Saiyan power levels. And then once you get to 3, I'm like, okay, he's going back to 3, even though 3 is powerful, but it's draining. But you decide to jump to 4. Full on, tail is back, full on, half gorilla, and we're supposed to be like, okay, I guess this is Goku can do it now. Now, I'm not knocking it, but does it taint the story, or is it just like this is just Goku being Goku?
I think it could work because that old Namek seems to be at the helm of all of it. I think they only got one wish, right? And it was just for them. Glorio stole it.
Yeah, he's probably like what original Shenron was originally conceived. If you can wish for anything, we only get one wish, and then we had like more rules the longer we went. It's like, oh, you got 3 wishes, but it takes 2 wishes to multi-res, or it takes a wish of the 3, but you can come back any amount of times. Red Pill gives us you get anything. You get anything, no restrictions.
Well, it is true because he was able to go Super Saiyan 4 in kid form. He was able to go Super Saiyan 4 in kid form, and then the wish to wish them back to adult bodies, he was able to do it.
The first time was Neza, who is basically a Toriyama insert, just like magicking, giving him magic thing, which is why I was like, oh, well, I mean, it's better than what GT did. We don't have magical pliers and needing to pull out a tail. He just magically gets a tail.
Right.
That's great. But then when he does it on his own today, I'm like, no, this is some BS. But furthermore,
I could see
I'm fine with it, but I also don't like it because now this categorizes where we are, meaning Goku finds 4 inferior to, or finds Form 4 inferior to God, Blue, and Ultra Instinct, where previously, before it was like canon in Heroes, 4 full power was like that. Trying to do hands here, like neck and neck with, or 4 limit break is neck and neck with Ultra Instinct to the point where they had like the square off.
Right.
So immeasurable strength, and now 4 is like chunk, 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 chunk.
Right. It's just interesting that 4 is like, where does 4 fit in that? But I'm sorry, Tafara, what were you saying?
I could see the joke being, oh, it was tucked in our clothes this whole time. We just didn't mention it. Or because I think the one wish was stolen by Glorio just to bring them back to normal. But every time they've gotten a power boost, it's that old Namek. So I believe it's just demon realm energy mixed with untapped potential like Guru did on Namek. So I think he's older than Guru technically. So, because even when Vegeta went 3, he was messing with the robot. It was like, well, since they like to fight, and give them both. And then when he goes over to Goku passed out, that's when he gets the transformation. So, the fact that he's an adult now and can better manage his body, I'm not surprised he can pull it off one more time. But I would surprised if this is like he leaves and can't do it again because this was Demon Realm Goku. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like, what was the name for it? If this is like Zombie Man Luffy in Thriller Bark.
Oh, where he can only do it there.
He could only do it there, and it was a one-time thing because they fed him all the shadows.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not against that. I would love to see more Super Saiyan 4, but it's like, okay, so does this? I mean, obviously, Ultra Instinct being an angelic form, does Super Saiyan 4 is stronger than Ultra Instinct, or is it going to be under Ultra Instinct?
Well, we know it's under now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know it's just a step up from 3.
Right. So that's the thing. I'm going for. Like, I know we got like what 2 episodes left of this current run now, because I know we were 5 the last time we talked, so I think we're like 2 episodes away from the end.
1.
Oh, 1 episode away from the end.
19, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was 19.
Yeah, the next episode is it.
Okay, so yeah. So we got one last episode for this current run. So now that we're getting to the season finale of this, and I'm just going to throw this question out before we move on to Invincible. Do we think Diamond's going to be a one shot, or is this just a whole? Oh,
yeah. Don't. God bless Toriyama. You did this shit, and then I know you were probably like, as he left, he's probably like, they're gonna love this, but it's been fun. Later, and here's my last editor's note for the manga. The goodbye, goodbyes from me. Enjoy Super Saiyan 4. Enjoy Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Enjoy the jokes. It's been real. See y'all on the other side. This was his last work. I say leave it alone. If you can, find a way to clean it up. Maybe we flash to Super. Maybe we flash to the tournament. And he's like, doesn't Jiren kind of look like that dude from the Demon Realm? Focus. Who knows? Because they've taken liberties with some stuff before, like Kakarot. Kakarot's DLC where they redid the final fight between Goku and Vegeta in the desert, and actually like that and ending. That was actually pretty cool. Like Vegeta switching. That's one thing I would have loved to see animated. Vegeta doing the Big Bang and alting into the Final Flash midway through, the way he did that game. Like, so I think they'll wrap it up nicely. I'm curious to see what their explanation is, or how they explain the power up, or how they explain that he never goes back to it. Or Vegeta's like, I want to do it one time before we leave.
No, I can see that, and that's why I want to throw that out there. As far as would this be a one shot? And I agree with you guys. It does. It should be a one shot. I do see them. Like I said, I do see them flashing the Super, just because. Let's be honest. Who's not going to turn down another turn of power? Who's not going to turn that down? Although it'll have to be with. Well, Joe opposes it, but for a lot of people, they're going to be like they're going to want the moral act. I'm just going to be honest. The moral arc. Sorry, not act. Arc. They're going to want that arc. So I think that will probably be the last shot for Super. I could see that. But yeah, as far as Daima goes, I agree. That's going to be a nice little 20 episode one shot. Nothing against it. If this is their way of introducing Super Saiyan 4 into the current universe, nothing. I got no problems with that.
Don't take like a year and a half to drop the Blu-ray at this point, because what is it? They announced, I think, the 4th My Hero movie is coming to streaming, and I'm like, I forgot that came out. And then
the evil All Might. Oh, I forgot what he called himself.
Dark Might, and I was expecting
Dark Might. There we go.
I thought, and that was such a dry plot. Like, I was expecting, like, oh, the hero rejected me, I'm gonna be evil, and he just literally goes like, Dark Might. Sure, that works. Chaos ensues, and then there's the plot. By the way, domain expansion. And guess what? Shigaraki's awake, and the war is going to start. I'm like, was this supposed to get released like 3 months ago? Like, why are we being shown stuff that's currently happening?
That's a fair point. Because that's all I was wondering about that, because I had to look it up myself when that movie was going to be streaming. But also, it kind of goes into Jujutsu Kaisen. But again, we're stuck till I forgot when the next. Dang it, my mind is going blank right now when the next arc's going to start. But anyway. I thought it would go that route, but ultimately it's not bad. With how they're going about this, I just want, like we said, let Daima be a one-shot run. let's have its pieces. But yeah, let's not have so much time between Daima and the next thing. Because if you're gonna do the moral arc, do the moral arc and make it like the last hurrah for Super, and give respect to Toriyama. But again, we will definitely see. Although the crazy part about, also for all those who are wondering about Your Next, it will be available to stream on Apple TV, Amazon Video, and Fandango at Home. Which also, following that, will be on Crunchyroll and Hulu. So, of course, just like Sonic 3, you gotta pay to rent it before you can actually stream it for free. Although Sonic 3 is available on Paramount Plus right now. Had to watch it again because it was just that freaking funny. But anyway, last show before we get to our little bit of comic news before we call it a night. Invincible. How can I can explain this. Because a couple of episodes have happened in between Invincible. Mark is now dating Adam Eve. His brother is starting to come into powers of his own, but still wants to be a kid. Omni-Man and Alan are still on the prison, but right now there's a prison breakout with Battle Beast, and Alan is still trying to convince Omni-Man to join the cause against the Viltrumites. The Viltrumites are stepping ever so closer to Earth in that infamous scene, which we hope to God they may or may not show on Amazon. If you've read the books, you'll know exactly what scene I'm talking about. Outside of that, Mark is a little bit of a hypocrite. You know, he doesn't want to be his dad, but Cecil said it straight to his face. You sound exactly like your father, and he didn't take it too well, to the point to where they're no longer working together. The Guardians of the Globe are kind of doing their own thing without government assistance and going clandestine, but it's a little different there. At the same time, Cecil in the White Room, that was interesting. As far as the White Room is only his protection against Mark, even more so that he has a safeguard Mark to where if he presses a button, it gives a high-pitched whine sound in Mark's ears that could kill him. So overall, guys, I know Joe, you keep up with Invincible. I forgot.
I saw the fight, but that was about it.
Okay. So where it stands right now, guys, what do y'all think on Invincible? Because it is starting to come to a head, but right now this kind of feels like filler to me.
The last episode, that's the thing. Invincible's in that weird spot Steven Universe was in for a little while, where there's going to be other plots outside the Viltrumite War and the impending doom. It's just we get so caught up in it for a while that when other stuff happens and we don't get to it in an episode, people think it's filler. Like the last episode when they cut to end credits and then it's like, psych, that's only halfway through the episode. Here's what's going on in space. I think that was good. Weird obsession with the prison industrial complex this season. Like, because even with Darkwing, he's like, why isn't he in jail? I'm like, weren't you the one saying he needed help in the first season?
Right.
And now it's like, he needs to be thrown away. I'm like, all right. But you and your brother, and I kind of like that they have written themselves in a way where the fandom's like split 50-50. Because you can say, as I've been saying for 2 seasons, you can say Cecil's overkill, but he has not proved unnecessary. Like even the White Room fight, it's like, hey, maybe don't. You're arguing his point while proving him right at the same time. So like, what are we doing right now? Also, you didn't even see if you could be mad that his tech is being used. You don't even know if the dude is free. I mean, he probably is like in a like watched like a hawk somewhere. But for all you know, they stole his tech. Also, it's the only thing that like gave your dad a run for his money for like 5 minutes. So, pardon them for having it. Curious with what they're doing with Rex and the shrinking chick, since she's not supposed to be alive this long.
Right. And
then the Immortal still sucks. I felt more for his alternate self than I did the one. I felt more for alternate timeline Immortal than what I felt in 3 seasons. Duplicate's brother is pissing me off because what is your problem?
Oh, the prison scene?
Not even the prison scene. Just why are you? I get it. You don't want to be in prison, but why are you fighting to go back to the fucking triad so bad? Like these are your best friends.
And then old boy with the dragon. That's all I was like. So I was wondering what the big guy's whole purpose was. Like, you know, if you're going to be looking menacing and defensive, and you're supposed to be protecting the old man, I'm like, so you're basically a medic.
He's Hun from Jackie Chan Adventures, basically.
Yeah, he's the medic. I was like, so you did all that, and it's funny we see Machine Head come out of nowhere. Machine Head and Titan's like, look, I just came to get what I wanted to get, and I'm out. It's like you can have this, you can have all this. Just leave the city to me. Do what you want to do. Machine Head, cool. Bye. Oh, by the way, if you ever try to double cross me again, yeah, I'll kill you. It's like Machine Head was interesting, but I'm like, you're kind of a throwaway villain. But what were you gonna say, Safari?
Hard to take him serious with the T-Pain auto-tune voice while making threats.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just weird obsession with Mark and putting people in prison instead of thinking they can be reformed. Not even realizing, hey, you basically are what Cecil used to be like, because even he thought the same thing.
Until that part. That's what I want to sit there and say, not to cut you off too far, but not just I want to sit there and say, Cecil was right. The thing about it is nobody wants to say it. Cecil may do some shady stuff, but at the same time, was he wrong about anybody?
No, and even then, the prison fight was cool, but who, and how did you capture Battle Beast? That's my question. Because he's in a cage. He's not even in like chains, which means to like lure him into the room and just lock the door permanently.
Because I'm thinking myself,
I have a feeling, and this is pure speculation on my part, is he put himself there on purpose, or he is a fail-safe for that prison?
Because the thing about it is, he only wants to fight people. He only wants to fight strong opponents. That's it. And it's amazing that, okay, it takes Alan to come up and say, look, Viltrumites are coming. And that piques his ears like, I've always wanted to fight one of them. Cool. There are two of them down the hall. And that's all it took. It's just like, so he could have left the prison at any time, that none of the prisoner guards could actually stop him. So you might be right, Joe. He might just sat there just hoping for a fight. Because, I mean, outside of Alan and Omni-Man, who's going to stop him? So, I mean, it just leaves that point. But no, it's just like the latest episode. It just felt like filler. Like, we know eventually it's going to get to the point to where we're going to see the Viltrumite invasion. We do know the big fight's coming. It's just that this latest episode, it just felt like Naruto filler. Well, not Naruto filler, because you skipped through Naruto filler. At least watching this filler, you kind of got some ins and outs of what's going on. But overall, not mad about this season so far. We still got a couple more episodes to go. But Tafari, Joe, anything else y'all want to add to that?
I know, what is it? The conquest fight is what we're waiting on. I'm curious to see how do we get there in 3 episodes? Also, your brother's a lunatic. Like, please acknowledge this.
Oh, I laughed about the brother. The brother, you know, I still think he'll have some dark side moments, but I think he'll be. I mean, I don't think he'll go full on heel, if that makes sense. He has those moments where it's like, I could kill this guy if I wanted to, and Mark's having to sit there and say, no, that's not what we do, as Mark killed Angstrom Levy, which I still think is interesting. But Joe, anything you want to add to that? All right. So that's going to do it for the reviews, guys. Like we said, we didn't have comic books no comic book pulls this week, but we do have a couple of comic book news that we do want to talk about. If you like Batman, especially in the blue and gray, you're in luck. Jorge Jimenez has sat there and let us everybody know via Facebook that he along with Matt Fraction, who will be doing the script, Team Moore, that's going to be on the colors, will be coming out with Batman issue 1. As you can see right here, guys, as I try to blow this up a little bit bigger, you do see Batman back in the blue and gray. I have no issues with this whatsoever. But Joe, anything more you want to add to this as far as the issue itself or what to expect?
Nope, there we go. I mean, I don't read Batman, but I'll at least read the first issue. Check it out. I like that Matt Fraction's doing it. It's kind of funny because we know exactly where Chip Zdarsky's going. But yeah, no, Matt Fraction, for those of you unaware of who Matt Fraction is, if you enjoyed the Hawkeye TV series, the book that it is based off is the Matt Fraction run of Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. So I'm as a Batman fan.
Means Batman's gonna be punching tracksuit Russians.
Yeah. Well, technically there is. Let's see, tracksuit Russians. Ooh, Penguin's henchmen. So if that they got tracksuits, that's the closest between them and Black Mask henchmen. But Black Mask henchmen wear suits. But anyway, I'm getting beyond the point. Definitely looking forward to that Batman issue coming out. And although Joe did mention Charles Sardesky, and the reason why he mentioned him is because we are getting a new Captain America comic series that'll be written by Mr. Sardesky himself, as I get tongue-tied, and Valerio Schettini. Please forgive me if I destroyed your name. Who will be the artist for this? And this is actually what you're seeing right here that will be out July of this year. This story actually follows Cap as he is post-frozen. So this is him coming out the ice and pretty much picking up the story from there. This is just a little bit of the artwork they're showing here with alternative costumes as well as those with the Howling Commando designs. I am not against this. Mr. Sardesky has not done anything wrong yet in my eyes as far as I'm concerned. Almost everything he has written, because he got me with Daredevils and Devil's Reign. Love that. I actually loved multiple Daredevil stories he's done, as well as Captain America stories, as well as correct me if I'm wrong here, Joe. He did besides Daredevil, did he do a Punisher? Am I wrong?
No, that's Jason.
Okay, sorry, apologize. But anyway, this comes out July 2025. Fellas, what are we thinking about Cap? A Cap story post coming out the ice after the first Avenger.
I'm curious to see what they do with it.
I'm definitely that, because I just want to see the story they go with. Because technically,
I want to know what year they're going to set that in, though.
That's a good question. Because I started to read through this, they never said what year they're pulling them out the ice. So, I mean, it could be the fact that it could be. I mean, judging by the design, I want to say it's closer to maybe closer to the turn of the century. I could be wrong about that, but either way, we'll find out come July of next year. But those two issues, along with other ones, like I said, keep in mind, guys, about those things, just because it kind of goes into what we always say about comic books. Support your local comic books. Support your local comic book stores. Support your independent bookstores. Support your local libraries. If you are in the Middle Tennessee area, please support Rick's Comic City. We talk about them all the time. They have 2 locations in Nashville and Clarksville, Tennessee. They also have their website, Rick's Comic City. Let them know the guys at GB sent you. Doesn't get you any discounts, but you see ourselves on their televisions. And at the same time, guys, this is what we talk about. We say support physical media, not just steelbooks, DVDs, and Blu-rays. We are talking comic books. Words hurt right now.
It's a type of hurt that never goes away.
Okay, that one broke me. Damn it, Joe.
Don't mind me, blame Yin Yo.
Oh God, physical media. Not just DVDs, steelbooks, Blu-rays. We're talking comic books, collections, Funko Pops, movie posters. Guys, all this stuff is getting harder to find. And although comic books do carry all these things, guys, they do carry them in limited quantities. And at the same time, this is the reason, if you haven't noticed, a lot of these streaming services, Netflix, are starting to raise their prices. They're starting to cut things off. And at the same time, that's not, and also comic books as well, which is the reason why we keep saying, guys, support the comic books. Just like Storm. Storm sold out and had, I want to say they're on distribution number 5 by now. So they're on issue 5. So issue 5 by now. So thank you for all those that have been supporting the Storm line. It has definitely been a great story. For those supporting the Marvel, the Ultimate Spider-Man and Black Panther and X-Men and Wolverine is now starting. Also, the independent comic creators as well. Like we shout out a lot of them on Blurred's Eye View, and forgive me if I can't remember everybody, but Midnight Comics, Concrete Comics, Fly Height, those of Blood and Bone. I can keep going down the list, but what I'm trying to point out, guys, is in so many words, support the indies. Not just support the populars, but support the indies, support the comics. Hopefully not the same way that sewer water in Katsukan supported somebody, because somebody got hit by that water at that joint, and I feel bad for them. But what do you say, tomorrow?
That was gross.
Yeah, it was. And the fact they took them so long to fix it, you think someone didn't just go and shut the water off, but what do I know? But anyway, getting back to what I'm saying, guys, support physical media, support your local comic book stores, support your local independent bookstores, support everywhere that does not have a corporation behind it, because you will miss them when you are gone. So, like we said, guys, no comic book pulls today. We will have them back next week. So as we wrap this up, I do want to start with the words hurt. Words freaking hurt. Safari, what do people know what you're doing, sir?
Back to posting on my regular schedule. Gonna try to have something out either this Monday or the Monday after. Posted a video about how anime theme songs used to be too loud back in the day. Also running back my twin avatar skit, since that seems to be relevant again, coincidentally. Got new streaming equipment, so doing some test runs on the new Sonic game, seeing if I can get back on track now that I've got another capture card. Other than that, my friend Flo has tapped in on helping me do unboxings for businesses for the rest of the month. And I may or may not be doing voice work on things with people we know. So TBD on that. We'll see.
Nice. Joe, I know you're moving into new digs, sir, but you will let people know what you're doing?
I'm unpacking, as you can see. Unpacking. I'll get back to streaming shortly. Tafari and I will start a new Ultraman series eventually in a little bit. We'll discuss when. I gotta find the DVDs. They're in here somewhere, I swear. I will probably start streaming next week when Monster Hunter Wilds drops.
Nice.
So we will get to see me running around with my gun lance, because I am a gun lance user, and see how long I can keep a hold of this apartment.
All right. Well, thank you for that, sir. And before I get to myself, I do want to do shameless plugging as well. Shout out to guys at APR TV or alwayspressrecord.com. Why? Because Get Bit Podcast, along with other shows, are seen there. Definitely check them out, whether through the app at APR TV or their website, alwayspressrecord.com. You keep in mind, guys, these are the avenues. These are the content areas that we want to send our support to, because our dollars matter. And I'm tired of seeing them go to Tubi. Why? Because Tubi is well worth over $100 million. It's owned by the same guy that owns Fox. I would rather that $100 million goes to us, because it's our content, it's our viewership, and most importantly, it's our dollars. So definitely check out alwayspressrecord.com or APR TV on the apps. Also, blurredstation.com. We have talked about this thing for well over a year. Not only is another table, another area to where our content, our media, supposedly our dollars should be going to. If you are going to BlurredCon next week, not next week. Ooh, wow, not next week. Next month. Words hurt. If you are going to BlurredCon next month and you do actually want to have some advertisements, Tafari, correct me if I'm wrong, that's still going on, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. So yes, there it is. So if you do have a business and you do want it to have it advertised at BlurredCon on Blurred Station, while you're at blurredstation.com, simply check the live stream ticker up there. And as you can see right there, guys, you will see the tiers that we do have put in place for advertising. So if you have a business, if you have something that you want to advertise at BlurredCon and you will be there, go ahead and click on whatever tier that you would like to do, and you'll be able to get in touch with the people behind the curtains on how you can get your advertisement live on the Blur Station BlurCon stream during BlurCon this year, this March. At the same time, guys, there's still movies, television shows that you can watch on BlurStation.com. Hit the Join Now button, select the Blur's Eye View Affinity membership. Any member there you can select. We don't care. We appreciate all the same. $10.99 a month to stream Blur Station. $10.99 a month for Blur Station can be streamed on all smart devices. At 36 months, you do have the ability to own a piece of Blur Station, and you cannot beat that with a stick. At the same time, guys, again, it's all about supporting our own. Now, as for me, guys, you can find me. Well, actually, I would like to direct people to the Give It podcast because it does have an IG page. So if you look up the GB podcast on Instagram, you'll definitely find our page there. Like, share, subscribe, as we do want to try to post more on there as well. My own homepage at Black_Spartan615. You could definitely like, share, and follow from there as well. I myself, guys, I am joining everybody else into streaming online. It's been a while since I've competitively played fighting games. Racing games, first-person shooters, and RPG games are really my thing. I am now looking into getting a capture card for my PC so I can join everybody else, because you want to watch me try and fail at video games and, have my own commentary while I'm doing it. Hopefully I'll have that set up in the next couple of weeks. I'll probably be leaning more on the masters of streaming. That would be Tafari and Joe, because they got down on exact science. So I might be leaning on them a little bit more. Also, before we do get out of here, guys, I do want to shout out those that do support us. And what I mean by that, guys, I actually mean those that do watch us and also are actually on other formats as well. And that being said, Blur's Eye View actually has their own. Again, if you don't know, you can go to Blur's Eye View on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, as new episodes are posted every Tuesday and Thursdays. Also on the Blur's Eye View YouTube page, all of our shows there from each of us are linked. So you can definitely go in there, like and share and follow, as we did post our latest episodes, especially going over Afrofuturism and Black superheroes you should know, as well as content creators. Like we said, we're all about sharing the love. Also, although she's not here right now, but I'm pretty sure she's somewhere, Kira at Room Full of Blurs. You can follow her on YouTube with new episodes every Sunday at 6 p.m. Her and Reverend Navy Montel usually go over geek news as well as comic book reviews, and also do a little bit of voice acting, which is always fun. But definitely check them out there. Also, check out Geek by Heart, who's usually in here, but she's with family right now. As her and her husband will be streaming on YouTube. I believe that Lady will be streaming every Wednesday and Sunday, as she's currently following Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. She just actually finished Silent Hill 2. But definitely follow them, give them a like and share, because like I said, we're all about spreading the love here. At the same time, guys, the rules still apply. As I usually say, as cons are kicking back up again, respect the cosplayer at all times. Please, guys, hygiene. Cold and flus are still going around. There have been cases of RSV. There have been cases of influenza type A and type B, type A being more aggressive. Guys, this can all be prevented at home if you simply wash your ass, and please wear clean clothes. Please brush your teeth, wash your hair. Hygiene is important, guys. And from a guy that has 3 kids, I know each of my kids can easily pick up something and bring it to the house. That being said, help me stay clean. And the last rule that I have for myself is I have for everybody else, guys. Look, the world right now is Idiocracy meets what's the other movie? Idiocracy meets The Man in the High Castle. That's about the best way I can put it. If you have not seen either of those 2 shows, I highly recommend you watch it. You'll see some similarities. But be nice, be kind. Words are hard. Share and talk about your fandoms. Don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool. But as we wrap this up, guys, we will be back here hopefully next Friday. Same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel. Any last words we call tonight, folks?
Have a good weekend.
Joe?
Yeah, go see Captain America.
Yep, go see Captain America. Go see, like I said, yeah, go do something fun, relax your mind, check on your loved ones. Again, we know it's a rough time, but do something that makes you smile. That's all we're saying. But anyway.
Go watch Samurai Pizza Cats.
Actually, pizza sounds pretty damn good right now. But anyway, take care of yourselves and each other, and I promise we will all get through this. Thank you all for watching, guys. Have a great night from all of us here at Get Bit. Peace.
Later.